Woohoo! Oh boy, oh! Can't fit this one into an 8-hour review, that's for sure. Story time. Once upon a time, in a land 20 minutes away, 7 years ago was a boy who thought he was better than the world, so he locked himself in a grungy bachelor pad, wasted away, and played literally nothing but Guild Wars 2 until his clothes started to mold. Well, that's heckin' disgusting. Why would you review a game that could do something like that to someone who definitely isn't yourself, you ask? Because that totally not me person wanted to see the major changes that occurred since then. Has the game improved, or has it evolved into a steamy, slimy pile of hot garbage? Let's find out. So what is Guild Wars 2? It's a good old MMORPG. It's like the World of Warcraft, and Warhammer decided to do the deed. One parent got cancer and died, rest in peace Warhammer, you will be missed. And the offspring is this. You play as one of several races, create a story for yourself, and explore a massive game world. This game was designed not to take hours to play, but months or even years. It was designed to keep you there longer, so that you could have time to ogle those really expensive weapons that you know are only there because the edginess factor is up to 11. And since Guild Wars has an in-game currency trading system, you bet you'll be dropping some hot dollars on those dies that are just a bit out of your price range. But with that being said, in order to actually get you to play that long, Guild Wars decided to do one important thing. They made the world massive and loaded it with stuff to do. There are more traditional dungeons, open world events, and regular completionist stuff, like these golden heart things. There's skins for outfits you can grind for, or legendary equipment that I was the sucker for grinding for a year to get sorta halfway to the point of having one. There is your traditional get the meta build and join a 5v5 to capture the point. There are army versus army fights where you just mush uglies until one of you dies. And there are also Castle Siege and World versus World versus World. That is a 3-way battle. Yeah, it's pretty cool. On top of that, there are quests and stories which are repeatable, which can net you some huge rewards if you complete it, but gosh darn it, Guild Wars! Why do you yank on my heartstrings so hard? You know what you did, you sick, dirty bastards! Not to mention, you lock this content behind an additional paywall? Alright, Ryan, calm down, take a breath. You got this. Breathe. Okay. If you can get past the massive behemoth of content that is Guild Wars 2, we can start to peel back the content and identify whether it's a good game or just a lot of hot garbage. And let's just start by saying it's not hot garbage. Guild Wars is a game that runs off its own world physics engine. Jumping is limited but not restrictive and can lead to some very interesting puzzles. Combat is just downright unique. Players can slot several abilities to assist a character's core abilities. Depending on their class, that person can also swap between weapons or elements, as you see here. And while yes, there are still a few bugs that still remain in the game, death in Guild Wars 2, that would be the result of said glitches, are not the end of the road. Penalties are manageable, even for below average players. Other mechanics include sieges, teleportation, and various events around the PvM and World vs. World world. This category would have had very high overall marks except for two very important details: mounts and loading screens. Now, mounts became introduced in the third expansion of Guild Wars 2, and they are awesome to have. Problem is those mounts weren't only restricted to the areas in the new expansion, meaning every jump puzzle, every ounce of thought that went into previous areas can be overcome with a jump on a mount. High to reach area? No problem, none at all. We need a reason to sell a new package, so let's introduce a game-breaking mechanic, why don't ya? And of course, the loading screen. Oh lordy, I know these are necessary, but the way Guild Wars is played nowadays has the player hopping around all the time. There is a solid percentage of my time looking at these loading screens. Even just gathering footage for this review, I went through tons of loading screens. Not everyone has a Titan X graphics card, Guild Wars. We need a bit of optimization here. Alright, feels. So, had you asked me this 6 years ago, I would have given this game about 60 out of 100. The main game and even Heart of Thorns, the entire storylines were pretty They were okay, they were entertaining, but my goodness, did they just outdo themselves with this last expansion, and the living world stories, particularly the All or Nothing story arc. You know what you did. Now you sit in the mob of hatred you made, Ryeniken. You know what you did to us. You see, the whole section is voice acted. They didn't just get some off-the-street corner voice actors either. The voice actress for Timey, in particular, knocks the feel score up a solid 5 points. An absolutely marvelous performance and a truly heart-wrenching experience. But the first bit, it's pretty meh. Now the game is marketed to a casual player, as you would imagine this game would be for. But it is not, and I repeat, is not just for a casual gamer. The game rewards commitment. There is no better feeling than taking a keep in the world versus world with a group of your closest guildmates. There is no better feeling than working your way up a ladder of instanced fractals. Those are instance-based, scaling difficulty dungeons, with a view of your best buds. I mean, yeah, sex is a thing, but hey, you're looking at this review of a time-devouring game, so I think I'll just leave that here. Haha, yep. However, back on topic. There is no worse feeling than realizing that the next item you need for your damned legendary is a ruddy clover that only has a 1 in 3 chance of being forged in a gambling money sink of death. Good lords and ladies, does this thing absorb more money than a pair of Pampers? Not to say you won't have fun if you are a casual player. I have friends who are casual players, and guess what? They love the game. They don't run out of content because there's so much content for them. But that's not all. Once you've beaten all the content, there is competitive content. This game has a literal endless amount of content. You can play this game for the rest of your gaming life if you so wanted, and frankly, with the right group of friends, it sounds like a pretty good idea. Overall, I give this game, Guild Wars 2, a score of 257 out of 300. That's not just good, it's really good. I would even say it's great. If you like MMORPGs, I guarantee that you'll like Guild Wars 2. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go gamble my money away on these Mystic Clovers. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!